Well, joining us now is the country's most decorated Olympian. He was today announced that he'll be going to his fourth games in Paris. Clos joins us from Frankfurt in Germany. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Good to be chatting to you once again. And firstly, congratulations on being announced.
Thank you very much. No, it's amazing, guys. Firstly, it's a huge honor to be going to the fourth games. I'm feeling really old at the moment. But just really blessed to be in this position. So very, very excited.
So 4 Olympic medals to date. You've been selected for the 100-meter butterfly. I'm sure you're looking to qualify for the 200 too?
So to be honest with you, obviously coming down into more of the sprints the last 2 years, definitely going to try qualify for the 200, but the focus is going to be the 100. And we're just going to see how we go in the next couple of weeks. We have a lot of competitions coming up now in Europe next weekend. So yeah, it's just going to be whether or not it fits into the plan. But the plan is the 100 to obviously go there and kind of focus and try bringing back one more medal would be amazing.
How important is it for you to be able to do that at a fourth games, considering the 5th place in Japan in 2021?
You know what? Me and my dad joke about this all the time, but I'm actually a pensioner in this game, even though I'm only 32, but I was world champion when I just turned 18. I was still in a trick, and my body's been through a lot. So obviously, at this stage of my career, just going is an amazing achievement on its own. But people close to me know that I obviously want to come back with some silverware, and I believe it's very, very possible. I'm up against obviously some of the best swimmers of all time, not just of this era. So it's going to be a tough ask for me, but. Quietly confident doing our thing here in Germany, and we have no real pressure. Everyone's not expecting much from me, but obviously my goal is to come back with the medal for sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about the preparations, about training with Dirk Lange in Germany, about what is quite an intense program that you're on? I know that some of the comments from when you came for the national championships in Quebec was that your body was tired because you'd come from a very long training block. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're actually doing and what the training looks like leading up to the games in Paris?
Absolutely. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's been such a unique experience these last year and a half, 2 years, because obviously as I've let's say gotten older in the game, the body's not the same as it was in London, 12 years ago. So obviously I can't handle the load that I did back then. But the mind is stronger. The mind is still bulletproof. The confidence is still there. It's just sometimes in training I have to hold back a little bit and maybe not go, with the young guys every single session at that 100% mark, But for me, that's always been my biggest challenge. It's been my biggest strength and my biggest weakness, I believe, over the years, is not kind of knowing when to kind of hold back. Yeah, I'd say when I came down to nationals, how do I say this? Respectfully, I'd say it's probably the first time in my career I've actually kind of been overtrained a little bit in that sense, because it was the first time that I kind of realized I needed to actually take a step back and chill a bit with the racing and the training and the traveling, because we've done so much from January. It's been a great block of work. The last 4 weeks since nationals, I'd say I've really come right again and toned myself back into tip-top shape, because obviously nationals, it wasn't the best for me, but I never really swim my best in nationals in April. So hopefully we take a turn for the better. We'll see next week in Barcelona, Cannes, and Monaco. We kick off the Mare Nostrum, so we'll see how that goes. And we only have, I think, 9 weeks on Monday till Olympics start. So it's crazy to think how cricket's come along,
What do you think of some of the new young guys that are coming through? You mentioned the national championships. You shared a gold on your birthday in the 100-meter butterfly with Matthew Says. He's also been named as part of the team. But you've got the likes of Amy Canny, Peter Kutze coming through. And swimming seems, from a South African perspective, to be in a rather good space.
Absolutely. I said it at the Commonwealth 2 years ago. This is a golden era for us, I'd say. We have the most talent I think we've ever had. I mean, Peter, he's really stepping up and asserting himself as one of the best swimmers in the world. He's not just a promising junior anymore. Matthew, he was the world champ in 2022, the end of 2022. So, we know what he can do. Obviously, it was amazing to share on my birthday. It was I think it was 13 consecutive years for the 100 fly. So I managed to just hang on to that title still. Yeah, Amy, phenomenal. I mean, she qualified in the relay. I think it was day 5 or 6 at nationals. She absolutely smashed it. Our women are so strong at the moment. Of course, Tatiana Smith. I mean, um, she's a superstar in her own right, and I don't see anybody stopping her in that 200 breaststroke, and even in the 100 breaststroke, and Kayleen Corbett, Emma Gallagher. Yeah, we just got such a great team, and yeah, honestly, the best part about it is the chemistry that we have. The team dynamic is amazing, and it's really, really, yeah. Like I said, I'm one of the older guys, but yeah, hopefully we can all come back with something to show for it.
You're on Sascock's Operation Excellence program, and before it was suspended for a period of time, you were also on it. But you mentioned some of the young talent that's coming through. How important is that kind of support for the younger guys that are coming through?
Absolutely. Look, it's very important. Swimming especially is a sport that doesn't get recognized, I'd say, in South Africa as other sports do, in the sense of funding and all that fun stuff, So it's very, very important for the next generation. For me personally, I've been very blessed to have opened my foundation to help a lot of swimmers, and that's something that I'm very passionate about going forward. And we'll talk a lot more about that after the Olympics. But yeah, it's very, very important, the OPEX program for everyone, even for myself. I think yeah, it's pivotal in our success, because again, if you're playing for the Springboks, you know what I mean, everything's taken care of properly, from when you're a baby buck, you know what I mean. But in swimming, you kind of have to make it to that level in order to kind of get recognized, So yeah, it's really, really been a big help. And yeah, we just need to see a bit more guys coming through now. I think the team is very, very small. I think it's 7, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully we can get 1 or 2 more names in the coming weeks, because I think it closes the end of June, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting run up now to the games. But yeah, very, very promising team we have, I must say. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Chatting to you now, you've really kind of downplayed the hunger that we saw when you won the double gold medal at the Short Course World Championships at the end of 2022 in Melbourne, following the disappointment of the last Olympic Games. How hungry do you still feel? Because you've mentioned it a couple of times that you're the old man in the team and that you're now a pensioner in the sport.
Now, look, let's make no mistake about it. There's nobody on the team of the 230 people that are all going to the games that's more hungry than me. I would give absolutely anything to be Olympic champion again. I've said it many times in interviews. I say I'm an old dog because I am. The body's old. Like I said, I was world champ in 2010. And I put my body through a lot of hard graft over the last couple of years. But the hunger is absolutely there. If the body was 22, I'd confidently say 2 gold medals is easily on the card. The mind, it's funny because Tokyo was actually a better Olympics than it was in Rio when I got the 2 silvers, because Tokyo I had no training, you know what I mean? I had no preparation, everything was shut down, and I came 5th in the world, you know what I mean? Unlike some of the guys on the team, they had access to their pools and their things, because obviously they were at different places up there. But for me in Durban, everything was shut down, you know what I mean? So it was a very tough time, and I believe that I definitely missed out there on a medal, at least in Tokyo, which is very unfortunate. But I don't like to look back too much, because at the end of the day, I have my short course, which I believe I'm very, very strong at still. Like you said, in 2022, double world champ, that was amazing. We have that again in December, and I'm only 3 medals away from having the most medals in history short course. So I've told the president, well, he told me actually, that if we break that record, Ryan Lochte's record, then you'll have a special trophy made for me as the greatest short course swimmer in history.
Okay, so that's certainly a goal that you've got in mind. If you look at how the longevity that you've had in the sport and the ups and downs that you've spoken about, how important is where you are mentally now? Because you've openly, certainly over the last couple of years, spoken about your battle with depression and with just trying to get over your own demons.
Absolutely. It's been the journey's been very strange, because looking right now, sitting here in May of 24, what I know now, I just wish I had this knowledge back when I started out. I believe that the career would have panned out a lot differently, because I understand things a lot better. But I guess that's hindsight, right? I had to go through those ups and those downs, and yeah, it was very difficult time for me during COVID and especially after COVID. And I had a couple of demons which I was battling, and especially during those games it was happening. But yeah, such is life. I think the most important thing is that I've said it many times. We've interviewed each other, or you've interviewed me many, many times, and I've always said you don't judge a man or woman's character for how he's celebrating victory and when things are going well. You judge it for when his back's against the wall, and I think that's the most important thing. Responding in the face of adversity. For me, that's what I've always strived to be. That's what my foundation stands for. That's what my motto stands for. We never give up. We never give in. We keep coming forward. And at the end of the day, like I said, the mind is absolutely strong. It's bulletproof. I'm ready to rock and roll today if we had to go. But yeah, we still have a lot of work to do. And yeah, I guess for the youngsters listening, I mean, there's going to be ups. I mean, there's going to be a lot of downs, And my dad has a very famous saying, I've lost so much more in my life than I've won. People only see me winning those double gold in 2022 in the Olympics and all that stuff. But I've lost many, many races. I've lost in training. I've lost in love. I've lost in life. You know what I mean? And that's, for me, much more important lessons you take from those L's, because you rebuild yourself stronger. And I think that's what's made me who I am today, and I'm very grateful. I know my parents are listening back home, so I want to give a shout out to them. My mom and my dad, both absolute warriors. And yeah, without them, you wouldn't be interviewing me today. So I'm very, very grateful for the family I have.
Clos, South Africa's most decorated Olympian, thank you very much and all the best of luck in the build-up to the Paris Games.